Welcome to Sidelines, stories from the Oklahoma Sports Heritage Museum in Guthrie, Oklahoma. This 11-episode series highlights some of the most interesting tales connected to this gem of a museum, celebrating the rich history of professional and collegiate athletics in Oklahoma. Coach, Billy Vessels, Heisman Trophy winner. There's a few of those from OU. If you go down the statue line there in Norman these days, that line of statues keeps getting longer and longer. It's kind of fun.
It is.
Billy Vessels was he was the first, though, right?
Right. He was the first in 1952. And we have 8 Heisman Trophy winners from Oklahoma. 7 of them are from the University of Oklahoma, and one of them, Barry Sanders, is from Oklahoma State. Billy was the first. He was an outstanding running back at OU. And Billy did not even know what the Heisman Trophy was. Of course, publicity was not like it is today, and it was not a big ceremony today. And the story is that once OU had that great 2 seasons with Billy, that he was back home actually working on the farm for his dad, and his dad got a call from New York and said that Billy had won the Heisman Trophy, and they needed to get him to New York City.
That's hilarious.
And he went out and got him off the tractor and said, "Hey, bud, they're wanting you in New York City for the Heisman Trophy." He said, "What is that?" Well, that was the top trophy for football. Usually a running back or a quarterback has won that, but he was the first, and his jersey was number 35. And OU at that time wore a crimson and white jersey with what's called a Wisconsin stripe on the sleeve. It's 3 stripes, 2 narrow and 1 wide. And at the museum, I'd been trying to get a jersey with a Wisconsin stripe. I found a company that would make us one, but they wanted about $250 to make it. And then it would not be the real thing. So we were getting ready to do a reception for and help an organization out of OU that's called Sooners Helping Sooners. And when I was talking with them, I said, you wouldn't happen to know if somebody has a OU jersey with a Wisconsin stripe. And the guy I was talking to said, "I think my brother has one." And I said, well, is there any way we could borrow that to put it on display? He said, "I'll check and see." And he called me back and he said, yeah, he's got one, and he's got a tearaway jersey too. He said we could borrow. That was a lightweight jersey that they developed and used to keep people from tackling them with their jersey. I said, "What number is that?" He said, 35. I said, "He wore 35? I said, "That's what Billy Vessels wore." He said, "Well, Billy Vessels wore this jersey 2 years, and then he graduated, and my brother played right behind him, Jay O'Neill, and he said he wore it the next year, and then he took that jersey home. And he's had it in the closet and in his drawer for 50 years or 60. I said, "That is a fantastic story. I can't believe it." No kidding. So at the museum, we have the number 35 jersey that was actually worn by Billy Vessels. And I don't know any other place where that could be found. As far as I know, there are only 2 Billy Vessels jerseys. He took one home and gave it to his neighborhood boy, a boy that was his neighbor, that was a big fan of his. And he just tossed him the jersey and said, "Here, son, take it home." And then Jay O'Neill had the other jersey, and we've got it on display at the museum. But Billy opened up the opportunity for athletes at the University of Oklahoma and Oklahoma State to be recognized or be looked at least for that top award in college football, and we've been fortunate. We've had 8.
That's cool. Okay, the story of him having to get off the tractor so he could get to New York City is the best.
Yeah, it is. That's a cool story.
Yeah. So come to the museum here in Guthrie, check out that jersey. Go down to OU, see that row of statues there. It gets longer all the time.
It does.
Yeah, but the first statue, Billy Vessels, and I think, am I right? I think Shan Gray did that statue, I believe.
Yes.
And we'll talk about Shan again in another episode.
Okay.
So come back, check that out in a few weeks. We'll talk about Shan Gray with another part of the museum. But Shan Gray did that statue of Billy Vessels. Really cool story. And Billy Vessels, national champion there for the Sooners in 1952, Heisman Trophy winner. A pretty cool piece of Sooner history.
We have the jerseys, pictures, and some helmets from all of the Heisman Trophy winners from Oklahoma. We have the jerseys of all 8 Heisman Trophy winners and pictures. We have a nice Heisman Trophy display, and an artist that painted the first 6 that won it, and then the artist has passed away, but we still have the jerseys and pictures of the 2 that followed. Baker Mayfield, and so we've got all of those covered, along with a lot of other great players from Oklahoma, the Selman brothers, and we'll talk about them sometime in a session because that is a story in itself too. But and there is a statue now at OU of the Selman brothers. But Billy Vessels was the first, and he was an outstanding player and an outstanding man, both.
That's awesome. Come to the museum here in Guthrie to learn some more. Thanks, Coach.
Okay.